Hi, Alan. Good morning. How are
Hey,
you?
what's going on? Hi, Dasha.
Hi, Alan. I'm Dasha Jamison with Red Rock Pastel Society of Nevada, and we have Alain Picard and our members who is going to watch us and Alan's followers. So thank you for saying yes and finding time in your busy schedule to show us around.
Oh, I'm so glad that I could join with you. It's really a pleasure. Thanks for asking me. I'm really honored. And forgive me as I get used to being live with you here in a little square. I'm used to having the whole screen. How about you?
I used to be in a small square, and I even make it a little smaller so I can show off your beautiful painting there.
Yeah.
So
Well,
let me more beautiful art.
yeah, I've got some stuff that I'll show you for sure. And
Yeah, so
maybe I'll just drag my stand around so my big face isn't in the middle of the square and you can actually see. But
no, we can see you fine, and a lot of people saying hi. So do you have a lot of time to paint right now during everything what's going on? Like how you doing it?
yeah, it's been an unusual time. I was traveling doing workshops right up until I think it was the 18th or 19th of March, and that was right when everything broke out in terms of the news and the U.S. media, and my children were being sent home from school and everything. So I had two back-to-back workshops in California and then came straight home, and I've been home since. And yeah, it's an unusual time. I happen to be teaching an online landscape painting course right now with students from all over the world, and it's very timely. I run it a couple times a year, and I mean, it was literally just serendipity that it fell
So you
exactly.
so you're staying busy teaching online classes, and that's actually a great opportunity to everybody from different parts of the world to see that. And uh,
Yeah, yeah.
but
It's one of the great gifts, right? I mean, our ability to connect on social media and to connect virtually, connect online, and using technology is one of these miracles of our modern day that allows us, even
yeah,
though we're alone,
I
to.
heard from so many of my members who, before going to see you live in California, they were taking your online courses, and they were saying how wonderful they are. So makes me want to check them out. Uh, but besides that, let me ask you, uh, what's about that 30-day challenge, what you're doing right now? So I heard a lot of people doing it, and I also heard what a lot of people having anxiety, they don't have time to paint, and
Mhm.
like how's that helping them during that time?
So obviously, we as humanity here on this globe are all in the same boat right now. Everyone has found themselves in the same place where we're quarantined, and so as artists, we all you can feel shut down. You could feel like you can't access your creativity sometimes when there's a crisis or when there's a lot of fear and uncertainty. One of the responses can be, not to create. And so I felt really strongly that it was an important time to encourage artists to have a response to this moment that's hopeful, have a response to this moment that's engaged, and have a response that's like focused, that you can do something as an artist to say, hey, um, we're alive, we're doing well, and we are resilient as humanity. We are resilient and we can be creative. So for me, extending the 30-day challenge in the month of April was a way of saying, let's stand together and be the people we are, which is creative, resilient, and demonstrate our hope in the midst of the challenges. And I'll tell you, it's been mind blowing. It's been absolutely overwhelming to see the response.
Yeah, those like I subscribe to hashtag 30-day challenge, and as I understand, there is a daily task what everybody is doing, right? So can you, and you mentioned what you're working on something today. You just finished your today's challenge. Can you please show it?
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, so the challenge is pretty simple. It's a painting a day for 30 days, right? I'm going to flip my screen so I can show you the paintings.
Yeah, sure.
Let's see how that works, right? All right. So these little 3 paintings right here.
Oh, this is gorgeous.
Are little 6x6 squares, and they're each UArt black. And I've been really having fun with this format. And so this is my last 3 days, Dasha. This is, I think this was Sunday, where I just wanted to do a semi-abstract sunrise. This happened to be one of the sunrises that I got the joy of seeing early in Sebastopol, California, when I was with a couple of your Russian friends.
Yeah.
Olga and Tatiana, just wonderful women, really great people.
I hope they will watch in the replay. They will appreciate mention.
Yeah, well, they're just so great. We really had fun.
Yeah, they very fond of you. So excellent teacher, wealth of information.
But thank you. And so I've just really been having a lot of fun exploring color and mark making, as you can see in this little painting. And these little 6x6 paintings are such a great way to explore mark making, you know, because you can be pretty abstract. This was yesterday. My little
I love seeing that, and it's works so well on Instagram screen too, you know, like square format.
Oh, square format is friendly for Instagram, that's for sure. And this is like typical New England autumn. I just had to go back to the fall in those wonderful colors, and the subject matter lends itself to this kind of very expressive mark making. And this was yesterday, just having a feast for the visual senses with color and feeling the joy that color gives you, right? I mean, when you see this kind of color, it stimulates your senses.
It brings life. Hi, Deborah. Yes. Hello, Tyva.
Hey, friends. Good to see you. And this was this morning. This is my painting from this morning, which is actually, I didn't realize it until I checked. It's from Albuquerque, New Mexico. I shot this sunset over Albuquerque, New Mexico, one of the IAPS years. I think this last time I was there. And and
it's where I had the pleasure to meet you, and you signed a book for me, Pure Pastel. So I'm a big fan.
Oh, that's it. That's it. So I thought it'd be fun to show you that these are 3. And you know what? You know, when people signed up with me, they got a little calendar. I've been doing my own calendar, marking my streak. I'm on day 7. I have to write it in there that I finished mine.
You promised me to make few marks on that painting, like one from today. Can you make few marks there?
Yeah. So, this one, right? So, you know, maybe, you know, if I were to make a mark in here, wow, did I promise you that? Okay, here we go. We'll add a little extra yellow. So, you know, I love this luscious yellow sky. And so I just kind of come in with some nice Schminke extra soft yellow and just throw a little extra glow in there.
So you work a lot on UArt, and UArt black specifically, like that painting, what I'm using as my background is also done on UArt black, and it's a wonderful YouTube lesson what you have. Can you say what UArt is your favorite paper, or like if you have to pick one?
So I would say, hold on, let me talk to you here. So I would say my favorite UArt paper is still the natural colored 400 and 500 grit. I like both 4 and 5. I think when I'm doing portraits, I probably I don't know. I think 5 builds up a little quicker, but it's up in the air.
It's a little bit finer grit, and depend how detailed you want to go, I guess.
How detailed, and also like how, okay, so let me show you this, right? So we're looking at the girls. Now these 2, this is my commission double portrait. There's Leighton, her name is Leighton, and then this is her sister Charlotte. And these are done on UArt 400 that's mounted to Gatorboard. And the 400, as you can see, like if we get in on the face, it's very smooth, right?
Yeah, it is. So you can do smooth even on 400. Hi, Rhonda. How are you?
Yeah, but if you get into that background, and you know these kind of decisions, I collaborate with the client. But you can see some mark making and some rich color, so you can play the texture depending on how rough. Like over here in Charlotte, her facial skin is very soft, very polished. to give that beautiful, delicate, feminine look, right? But if you come down to the shirt, there's a lot of texture and there's a lot of grit.
So you can do both, right? So you can achieve both fields with your art.
Exactly. So you are really lets you go either way. And, you know, you definitely build up a comfort and an understanding of the way the surface reacts to the pigment. And I really like it. As a matter of fact, I've started using the Spectra Fix workable fixative while I'm painting, right? So like if you look at this painting of Charlotte, even with the hair and the face, at one point I actually fixed everything, and it will darken it a little bit. The Spectra Fix, it's like it's a milk base, cassine base workable fixative, but it kind of grabs it locks down the pigment. That whole layer gets locked down, and then you can go back on top and get incredible hold. So you can really build up layer upon layer. So I really like. I've been developing more like of that kind of approach recently.
Okay. Maybe looking at your wonderful portraits, may I ask a question from
this one?
Yeah, from our members. Like, who is your favorite portrait artist from the past and contemporary one? So, two-part question.
All right. I didn't even plan this, but I've got a couple books over here, Dasha, on my
oh my gosh, we
table
need
here.
To see your books.
And I have one of my heroes, portrait heroes.
Sargent.
John Singer Sargent, right? Sorry, I'm trying to do this. I love Sargent. He's always been, for years and years, a real hero of mine. He's had a great influence on my work with that painterly approach. I also really, really love the Spanish painter Sorolla. And, you know, here's a Sorolla book. And Sorolla is another one of these guys who just wielded a brush with great virtuoso, and he could paint the sea, he could paint the portrait and figure, he did commissions, but he painted on location. I love his use of color and the sense of life that he brings, both to his mark making in his paintings, but also to his color palette and his subject matter. So I've been learning from Sorolla and Sargent for decades. I still think they're wonderful. I'm a big fan. I contemporary wise, I learned a lot from Richard Schmid. I think he's amazing.
Yeah.
Right. Got lots of the Alla Prima Schmid books on the shelf, and just that combination of skillful draftsmanship and also like expressive color, loose alongside of refined.
Yeah, I know. Sorry for interruption.
Yeah.
I just remember what after Albuquerque, you head out to Taos to see House of Fashion, right? So, do you like Nikolai Fishin too?
I love Nikolai Fishin. His work more recently has really captivated me. I think that I mean, what an incredible draftsman. He could draw so well, and his charcoal drawings are breathtaking. And then when you see him paint, he was a surface painter. I mean, all this texture. He painted those planes, those color fields, and he would build up flat texture and all this wonderful stuff. I've been learning more and more about that kind of approach. And so, yeah, I mean, standing in front of Fishin's paintings, again, he fits right in to that lineage of someone who's really bravura, mark making, glory in the texture of the paint, as well as an excellent draftsman and skillful painter, you know, and he can capture the spirit of a person on canvas.
So you was about to show us some other portraits from one of your series.
Yeah.
So one was behind you. So
all right, here we go.
Let us get back to that.
So this is a very large pastel, and it's in my Reflections of Hope collection. And this painting is called Beautiful because she just captivates me with her beauty. And she's one of those Rwandan children that I met when I had the opportunity to go to Rwanda. And I painted her a couple times, and I just love like the whole feeling of the piece. I love how she engages the viewer, and it's like she's walking right out of that frame toward me, you know?
Wow.
So
This
we'll
is
move in
beautiful.
on her. Yeah, and just again, we can build up. We've got her little empty cup and her beautiful warm skin. There is some museum glass over this, so it's
Yeah,
behind
it's no
glass.
reflection. So you're doing a great job on framing it too. So you frame it in a museum glass. Do you do framing
Yeah.
yourself, or you have somebody do framing for you?
This frame was made by a gentleman in Colorado. The Abend Custom Frames, Abend, Abend. He made this wonderful frame for me, and then he just shipped it to me, and I had my painting mounted on a large sheet of gator foam, and I was able to pop it in. It does have spacers in between the museum and the work, and it's a really nice finish corner frame for this special painting. So he pretty much built it for the painting and shipped it out. So in those situations, yeah, I popped it in, but that's all I really need to do. And then put a wire on the back. But yeah,
you don't need to share with us this contact too. So because framing is important, it's kind of like dressing up your painting to present it to your collectors. So that's really good to know. And
there's different framing styles that work for different size paintings as well as different kind of motifs, right? I like this black and gold, and it works well for this painting series. But sometimes I like, lighter silvers and things that are a little more, airy feeling. So I think framing's really important, certainly in terms of how your pastel is perceived by the collector. So when you look at this painting, you don't think, oh, this is a nice drawing, or, oh, that's a nice sketch, or, oh, that's a nice little work on paper. You look at it as a painting, right?
Yeah. And there is a big discussion about pastel painting and pastel drawing.
Yeah.
So you will, like, by your style, I can say you're more leaning towards a painterly style. So
that's
it's
right.
more painting with you.
Yeah, you can see, I mean, the approach. This is some of the background in this painting, and then we'll go into this little beautiful arm. It's a painting approach. It's really not a drawing approach, right? And I love to draw. And so, I can go between those two different approaches, but this is painting, right? I mean,
let me stop you here, and I have perfect question for that. Let me reintroduce ourselves. I'm Dasha Jennison with Red Rock Pastel Society of Nevada. We do this series of interview to promote our online exhibition with wonderful artists from all around US and world. And here's Alain Picard, kindly agreed to show us his studio, answer a few questions. And thank you guys for watching us. I'm gonna wave to everybody, and just remember, when we're gonna record this video, there will be no comments in the bottom, so you will be able to see Alan full screen without comments in his face. So next question, where did you get your art training, and what art school did you recommend in US for serious, profound art education? And if anybody want to learn how to do portraits, and they live in the US, what would you recommend for them? So like 3-part question, actually.
Yeah, so that's a great question. I had a funny way of coming to being a professional artist. I never imagined myself as an artist when I was younger. I didn't have artistic parents. I didn't come from a family of artists, none of that. I actually wanted to play baseball. So if, that's how far away from, being a visual artist I was, but I loved to draw and sketch. And I would fill all my, when I was in school, I would fill all my books with little sketches and doodles and things. I never considered it something I would spend my life doing. But as my love for baseball came to a crashing close around, the middle of college, I realized I wasn't going to be able to play baseball professionally.
What's your favorite team?
Oh, well, I was always a big New York Yankee fan. And nowadays, I don't even really pay attention that much. But that was always my big team. And I was taking a drawing class at a local university, and she really encouraged me. You need to study art. Like you're really skilled. You're really talented. So I basically declared an art major at my local Western Connecticut State University where I was playing baseball. And thankfully, they have a wonderful art program. They now have a master's program. But one of the things they opened me up to, and I took an illustration degree track, Dasha. So I was an illustration major, and I was doing commercial illustration for a few years. And that was on the recommendation of the department chair, who was a professional illustrator. He did a lot of book illustration. And I said, what do I do? How do I make a living at this? And he said, well, you can draw really well. And why don't you, take an illustration track? You can, get paid by companies and, magazines and books to illustrate. I said, great. So I just followed his advice. But I always loved to paint the face. And everything became a project about a face, So they sent me on a scholarship one summer to the School of Visual Arts in New York City, which is a great school. So one great school is the School of Visual Arts, both on the fine art and the commercial art track. And that was a great experience. I think my favorite school experience was taking classes at the Art Students League in New York City. And from a foundational training standpoint, I think that, they're a really
academic drawing.
Yeah. Very academic. They have an academic training at the, that's very strong. And so, the Art Students League is great. And you don't even have to you don't have to be a full-time student there. You can be you could take a Saturday classes at the Art Students League and study life painting. You can study the portrait. You could study figure drawing. You know what I mean? So it's really good that way.
This is an amazing opportunity. Our hearts go to New York, and hopefully this opportunity will be open for a lot of us soon.
Yeah, I mean, New York is great. So, and here's the thing nowadays. There are so many strong ateliers and instructor-based school environments where you could privately study under a master. I mean, I happen to think that that's a very powerful way to train.
So if you can think of different ateliers and you can share with us names, that would be amazing, because a lot of followers love your online classes, but for some who want to deepen their portrait skills and stuff and looking for basic academic trainers, that's a way to look at. I know Southern Atelier and Corey Pitkin in a previous interview mentioned another one to what he goes to. I'm blanking the name. So if you can think of the names, we can share it with our followers. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I know in Pennsylvania they have the Studio Incaminati. That's a really strong atelier-based environment under Nelson Shanks. I think he was the founder of Studio Incaminati. Have you ever heard of that one?
No, I have not. I will have to check it out.
I think it's in Philadelphia, and Studio Incaminati is very strong. It's a really strong academic training environment. And hey, listen, I will get a portrait course out. It's just I need time. So everybody can anticipate at some point that I'm going to launch a portrait course. I just haven't finished it yet.
Yeah, Margie from Southern California asking, is there any ateliers in Southern California what you know of?
I do know that I think they have a school of figurative art in LA, the LA Figurative Art.
Yeah, I believe Oliver Steen was about to have one of the workshops. So,
yeah, there's definitely a really strong, and then there's another time-honored art school out there right on the West Coast. I'd have to, it's eluding me. The name of it is eluding me, but we can pick that up in the comments.
Yeah, main point of it, to look for the atelier and a lot of great illustrators who also offer academic training. And you have tomorrow a live YouTube video coming up, right?
I do, yeah. It's something also that I wanted to do during this time of quarantine and also during the 30-day challenge, was to do a live painting demonstration. So tomorrow on my YouTube channel, if you go Alain Picard on YouTube, you'll find it. Dasha, I sent you the link directly
Yeah,
for this
I will
show.
put it, I will put it in a retro bio. While replay of our live video will be available for 24 hours. And probably if Katya will be nice to me, so we will have this video on our Instagram TV later, so you guys can check out all the previous interviews there too. But for 24 hours in our bio, we will put Alan's link, and I hope you guys all join his live YouTube stream tomorrow and check out wonderful demo opportunity what you can do in your house.
Yeah, we'll paint through, you know, we'll paint through a whole landscape. You know, it'll be about an hour, the demo. So it's not going to be.
So it's a landscape. It's landscape painting tomorrow. Awesome.
I believe so. Yeah, I'm going to do a landscape.
So I have another question, but it seems like a little bit long. So I will ask, can you recommend favorite, most used mid-tone blues and greens, like your favorite magic pastel sticks?
Oh, my favorite pastel sticks. Okay. Well,
and we're asking specifically for mid-tone blues and greens, like.
Oh, in the mid-tone blues and greens?
Yeah. Magic sticks. You have to find one. But does also work.
I'm a big fan of the Terry Ludwig and the Schmickas. You know, I have a lot of those, and I probably bought all of Ludwig's turquoises, blue greens. And, you know, I have them all, and they're just wonderful. I mean, he has like a turquoise set that's just beautiful. You know, I really like those very soft when it comes to the blues. For whatever reason, I like the way they lay down, really soft. So, I mean,
yeah, I love Terry Ludwig's. They just like, if you tried them, it's hard to go to anything else. But Schminke is right out there. You mentioned them too.
Yeah, Schminke has been around for a long time. So, you know, before a lot of these, before Terry Ludwig even existed, you could have Schminke extra soft pastels. And I'm married to a German, so my wife and her family, they live pretty close to where the Schminke company produces their pastels, like within an hour, like 30 minutes away.
So you have direct supply.
So I used to go over there and buy pastels, yeah. And I did a workshop in Germany a few years back that was sponsored by Schminke because they live so close, and I did it right in the city of Düsseldorf, Germany.
This is a great opportunity. I know we have a lot of viewers from Europe who is watching us, and like just.
Yes, I love Europe. My heart is, part of my heart's in Europe. I was hoping and am hoping to spend much of my summer in Europe this summer. I don't know if it's all going to happen or if it's not going to happen, but
it's something we cannot affect. We just can paint right now and write out and I want to ask you a question about online exhibitions. So why anyone should enter online exhibition?
Oh, I think it's really it's important to participate in these online exhibitions. And there's a number of significant reasons why you'd want to do it, right? I mean, first of all, in a time like this where we're all stuck, I mean, there's exhibitions that I'm thinking of a show that I just judged that will not be able to take place physically, but it will be able to take place virtually. And you know, a show like this that's online is so wonderful because across the world we can participate in these shows. We can see ourselves really alongside of our peers. And it really is a great way not only to celebrate the arts, but also to help us understand how we're doing alongside of, you know, our fellow artists. And I think competition is a really healthy motivator. You know, there's a side of stress that's a really healthy motivator. You know, people always
timeline, deadline, like
like stress is not all bad. Yeah, like you have that deadline, you get something done, you get focused.
Yeah.
I think competition, knowing that you have peers out there who are trying to enter the same show as you, is a motivating factor, and it excites us, right? And then we can get in and celebrate the work that's being created by our fellow pastel artists. So I think it's just fantastic. And the opportunities to just encourage one another for the beautiful work that they're doing. So I see you guys have a show coming right up, and that's important. I said, enter the show. And listen, friends, I know that you might be feeling like it's a hard time to paint. And how am I going to finish this painting to enter this show? You need to paint. The world needs you to paint. The world, people need to see the beauty that you
need to
have
hear.
to create.
Thank you.
That's why we're here. So please do.
Thank you so much. And I hope you will recommend to your subscribers to join our society. Maybe check out our show. Like, there is a chance, and there is, like, we have a most precious gift, as one of my friends shared with me yesterday. Nice perspective. We have a gift of time right now. So we have time where certain things slow down, certain things going on, but we have time to create. And there is still time till April 25th. You can enter our online show. There is time to submit. Check out prospectus on Show Submit or Red Rock Pastel website. So thank you, Alain, so much for shout out, and looking forward to your tomorrow live video. You can follow Alain Picard on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And tomorrow's video will be on YouTube, and his live course is available on his website, alainpicard.com, right?
Yeah, I only open up the doors a couple times a year. So we are actually running it right now and having a wonderful time.
So somebody can join just now, right?
Oh, it's actually, you can't join right now because middle of it. So we'll be running it again later in the year. So you can join the wait list right now for the next time it opens up. And we do that so that I can really, I show up and do, you know, live Q&As during the course and all that kind of stuff. It's really great. So we have a lot of fun together, and yeah, get on the waiting list. That's huge. So we can, I'll let you know as soon as those doors open next.
No, thank you so much, Alain. It was lovely talking to you. Thank you for your time, and see you online and hopefully offline soon. Please keep painting, Create 30 Challenge, Red Rock Pastel Exhibition. They're so wonderful reasons to create right now. Thank you guys for watching, and stay home, stay safe, and pastel. Thank you.
Thanks, Sasha. Take care. Be well, everyone.
Take care, Alain. Appreciate it.
All right.